So, yeah, we are on the live.
We're live. Okay. Hi, konnichiwa.
Hi, everyone. Konnichiwa.
So I'm here in Crete. This is a very special video. I've come all this way and I've come here to meet my Japanese teacher. And could you introduce yourself to people who don't already know who you are?
Yeah, so first of all, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me, Jeromy.
Yeah, it's crazy that it's somebody ring the bell to my home and at my home and from London and this is my
your
student.
house. This is where you work. Usually you have all your lessons online from here, and I've actually come to where you film your lessons.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm so glad that you actually visit me. Thank you so much.
Exactly. And then we're going to do a bit of a collaboration, so hopefully we're going to work together a little bit about Japanese language and what people can actually achieve. So from my experience, I used to practice Japanese through mostly textbooks, right? And at first I just learned the alphabet, some hiragana, and some phrases like kore wa pen desu, typical phrases that they teach you. But when it comes to actually proper conversation, it's useless. And when I try to look for Japanese teachers online, most of them are teaching from the book or wanting to just teach grammar. So they keep teaching you grammar exercises and you get very bored because it's not interesting stuff to actually practice. So when I started your course, your point is you can help them to master speaking first. If they want to do grammar, they can probably find somewhere else that could just teach the grammar. And you said that in 3 months you can become a good Japanese speaker, right? So that was like quite an amazing thing that you promoted. So can you explain just how somebody can go from being a beginner to actually Japanese speaker from 3 months? How does it work?
So first of all, my name is Jeromy. I'm a founder of Japan Language Factory, and then I couldn't even speak English at all until at age of 29. You know, it's just recent. And then, you know, I have a child and then I want to really discover the world, but now I cannot speak English. Then how can I speak as soon as possible?
Okay.
You know, and I hate to study actually. Really, I hate to study. I'm usually not good at study. You know, I'm not the person who can sit down, like open the textbook, you know, exactly this is a pen, this is a banana, this is an apple. Like I feel like forever I'm never going to speak, you know, nothing.
So what did you do instead of learning from the textbook method?
Yeah, so that's why what I understand is, so I'm good at communication anyway. You know, if I meet Japanese, I know what to speak, what the people like it. You know, I had a business in Tokyo was, you know, like counseling. So I know like what the people like. And then, so then I just need to know what the foreigners speak to me. So that's why the conversation flow, I guess, I just need to understand. I'm not going to learn like banana or apple that I'm never going to use it. So I just need to know what the people ask me. And then I just need to know what I need to answer today. Then I can have, you know, 1 minute conversation, you know, 2 minutes conversation. I can extend the conversation. That was my idea. So that's why I'm doing here is a communication coaching. So what actually can make the conversation nicely, you can speak longer, you can actually understand each other. So that's going to be like an engagement with the people that is for the business life, personal life, maybe making girlfriend, you know, that's all these things.
So when you were first learning English, what conversation were you having with people in English? What did you talk about?
So what I understand is when I start living in Europe, people think about me is definitely I'm Chinese. So that's why
they got that wrong. So they make an assumption about you based on the way you look, and they think you must be Chinese.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why first communication will be I'm actually not Chinese. I'm actually from Japan, and then people actually
So they change their reaction about you, right? Based on where you're from.
Exactly. So it's 99% is the same reaction. Oh, yeah, I'm from Japan. You know, oh, I love Toyota, I love Suzuki, or oh, I love anime or something. Then next conversation, what I need to speak is, you know, actually about cow, actually about, you know, culture, you know.
So you learn some vocabulary about those subjects.
Exactly. Because I'm never
talk about, right?
Exactly. I'm never going to use this is a pen.
That's true. Forever. That's a pretty useless kind of sentence. Now, when I've been learning with Kazuo, you know, one of your teachers, I've told her the phrases I want to use. And we often do something which is very kind of unique, so nobody else probably knows this phrase. So that's why it's quite valuable to each individual student.
Exactly, because when you meet natives, people speak to you that phrase that you never learned in the textbook. And of course you feel like, okay, what are you speaking? Because this sentence was not the textbook. And the people even like misunderstand, I need to learn more, I need to speak, I need to study more. Then actually I again go back to this is a pen book. And every time I come back to the real communication, I cannot understand anything. Because
there's a lot of textbooks out there. You know, there's 3 stages to each textbook, isn't there? So basic, advanced, intermediate. But really, you just have to start being a Japanese speaker straight away, I think.
Exactly.
Even if you feel unconfident.
Yeah.
So one of the things which most people want to do, they want to make friends. So for example, you learn Japanese so that you can make Japanese friends. And you have to be a Japanese speaker to do that. So what kind of things do you think they can talk about with a Japanese person if they don't know much Japanese? What would be a good beginning conversation?
So definitely, you know, because Japanese people cannot speak English, but also as I said before our recording, you know, if you ask the Japanese, are you interested into making friends or relationship with a foreigner, then I'm gonna definitely say yes, because everyone say yes. It's just that the problem is they can't speak the English. They can speak
Well,
only
hold on a
Japanese.
minute. I think that some Japanese people, they can speak English, but they don't get a chance to practice with English speakers very
Exactly,
often.
because it's Japanese. We have only Japanese classroom. We have only Japanese company, and whereas a foreigner,
You don't meet the foreigners very often in Japan.
zero opportunity. We actually watch only Hollywood movie. Oh, Leonardo DiCaprio is cool, and Tom Cruise is cool.
Okay.
One day I really want to visit there. One day I really want to have a relationship. Then
So they have this desire to
Exactly.
meet foreign people or have a partner from another country, but
Yeah.
they often don't get the chance.
zero opportunity. And then at some point, it's gonna be a stupid idea to have communication skill in English. So that I don't
You
have
mean
any
they
opportunity.
teach,
yeah,
right?
Yeah. So that's why, of course, they will never have any chance. Yeah.
So one of the unique things about obviously your method, the Jeromy method, is that you learn 30 sentences and you progress each time, and you give each student have an hour lesson one-to-one,
Yeah.
and then you have the group session. What happened in the group session? What do you want to do about that?
So the group session is more about training about your confidence. Because like speak different language in front of people is like on the stage, right? And you have to sing something on the stage. So
Yes.
I think if somebody never done, it's so stressful for sure.
Yeah.
That's why I'm telling okay, you're gonna do the lesson with a personal coach. One by one, it's not so stressful. Then next step is group session. A little bit speak Japanese in front of the people, like maybe in front of 5 people, 10 people, and try to encourage themselves. Yeah.
So a presentation
Yeah, exactly.
to other people, other students, and then the coaches.
I always say that communication is about more entertainment and also physical activity. I don't really believe if somebody is really good at study and it's really smart, but are you sure really good at communication?
Yeah.
So that's why communication needs training. It's not about study with a textbook, so you're good at the communication. So you need a training.
So you cannot just use the textbook, no matter how clever you are.
Yeah,
you have
exactly.
to- Now, how many of your students actually come from Japan?
So till now, it's almost 80 or 85% students are living in Japan. So that's why you are actually really rare.
Okay.
But it's you are really gonna be prepared to live in Japan. So now you're already fully prepared, and now you're
that's
going to
true.
Japan. It's so lucky,
Right.
Because most of people go there and they struggle, and then find the grammar book and go to the textbook, go to the actual college to spend thousands of time and money, and finally they found me after 10 years.
Right, and that's true because some of your students have already been living in Tokyo. for a few
Exactly.
years before.
We have a longest one is 25 years.
That's
they live
amazing.
And they never
Even they're
speak.
married to somebody Japanese.
Yeah, exactly.
That doesn't
It's so crazy.
seem possible.
Yeah.
So, how many also? So some of your students, they're already married. They met somebody when they lived in Japan, and they want to get better at speaking Japanese for their partner.
Yeah.
But
And also I think it's more socializing. They don't have any friends because
no,
if
that's
they
common,
don't
isn't
see-
it? But they didn't get to make Japanese friends.
Yeah,
when they come
always
to-
like a wife, friends, but that's it.
They only
but
make
the
friends
life
with
is
their own
entire
people.
life is like that.
Yeah.
It's boring,
It could be very boring. I
Yeah.
think that's most people worry if they go to Japan, they can't make friends easily.
Yeah.
That's the worry. So. Also, when I signed up to your course, it was last year, you're quite new. How did you manage to promote your business so quickly and to get so many students?
So first of all, I started teaching Japanese was 6 years ago. Because I started living in Greece was 6 years ago, and then before living living in Greece, I was in Japan and I had the cooking school, right? And then that was more healthy food. And I came to Greece and what can I do? What is something it's good business? Because I've been entrepreneur many years and then I can't find a job to work for somebody, so I try to be more creative. What can I do? Then 6 years ago I started, but it was more localized lesson. Only
Yes, so
I
you
was
teach
teaching.
people living in Greece.
Yeah, exactly. Only around here. And then, what's happened is 2019, before COVID, and my old friends, who is many years we working together as a business consultant, and he said okay, do you want to challenge a little bit more bigger market? Greece is okay, but also do you want to go more worldwide? And number one is it's gonna be interesting. But then we're gonna make a website and we're gonna make a target. So is it Greece or Greek or a English speaking country?
Sure.
I can speak English better than Greek, so I think it's better United States, UK, a foreigner who live in Japan. Okay, so we're gonna make a website. That was end of 2019, and then COVID happened, right? Beginning
So
of
it's actually
2020.
good timing that
Yeah.
COVID came around just as people, they want to can only learn online. So
Yeah.
you managed to promote your business around the same time.
Exactly. So
Good.
that's why we built the website. We built the how can I say email marketing. So we actually get the email and then we send the email. Are you struggling to maybe being able to speak Japanese?
Right.
Are you still learning maybe grammar for many years? So actually, I really appreciate it that it's quite people are really struggling. Then they really cannot speak Japanese at all. I really even didn't believe that there's so many foreigners who live in Japan can't speak. I
Yeah.
thought that it's only maybe mainland United States or UK. So that's why I didn't really imagine that there's a foreigner who live in Japan can't speak. Yeah.
So most people, they found a job and then they work in Japan and then they need to learn Japanese. Now, some of us, we like the idea of living in Japan, we want to have fun, and we don't necessarily want a girlfriend, but we would like to date over there. And a lot of the language teachers, they won't teach us any useful phrases about that. You have to talk to a girl. And, it's a little bit different because in the UK, it's quite direct. You might just say, can I have your number? But what's the better way to ask a Japanese person this kind of
So I think a Japanese person is when they see you is as a foreigner, it has a huge boundary that, oh my god, I cannot speak. And then somebody talk to me, then it's still weird that it's like a movie star coming up and like talk to me something.
Yeah, so your impression is that
really pressured, like what can I answer?
People, slightly scary people a little bit.
Exactly. So that's why the first step is, of course, you need to speak Japanese first of all. Otherwise, there's no...
you cannot just go to Japanese and go, hi, I'm Rob, or, how are you doing, baby?
So the first phrase is like, it depends on the situation. Let's say you met this person in a Starbucks, and you're sitting and this girl is sitting there, and like, let's say she's working like this, and then what are you doing? Like, like, what are you doing?
So
I'm actually,
is it working, or are you just reading something?
Some like interest not to you, because it's too direct, like, tell me who are you? Then it's like, who are you, who you are. And then that's why, not you, I'm interested in your activity is more, not scary.
Okay, so
like what are you doing?
In the way we approach, first of all.
Yeah. So that's why Japanese woman, you can't speak to directly something like I'm interested in you.
Yeah.
You can say I'm interested in your activity, then it's much better.
It's different, right? Isn't it?
Exactly.
And I'm not talking about, like some pickup artists. This is just maybe you might make friends with Japanese women, or you might want to date them. But the point is that you cannot just be so direct, and it doesn't really work that well. So for example, if you want to meet them at a bar or have a drink, you can just say, I'm going to this place.
Yeah.
So you could say like, there's a really cool bar over there and I'm going to go tomorrow. It'd be great if you come and join me.
Yeah.
So then she has a choice to say yes or no. If she's interested in you, she'll probably come.
Yeah.
So we take the
and also like if it's group, then it's better. Like you actually have one more friend, and then she has one more friend.
I think that's true actually.
Yeah, because it's one-on-one. It's like maybe if I have some trouble, how can I escape? But it's group is much easier.
So that's actually probably a less common way where in England, but in Japan I think that works really well. You kind of like have a group situation, so people can chat easily with each other, and they've got their friend there, so they feel really comfortable. So I get the impression that most Japanese people like to meet somewhere like in a group, and maybe a bar, restaurant, but they wouldn't really go to someone's home. Is that right? Until they know you.
Yeah, definitely. Not even like maybe first meeting. I'm very different people.
Right,
so I'm like, hey, welcome here. Like no problem. But most of people actually, yes, they really need the time and trust and everything. So that's why I think it's better like until you really feel like a closer, meet outside, like maybe cafeteria, restaurant, or maybe movie, whatever, like something outside. Yeah. And then maybe some point after maybe 5 meetings, like you can ask like, I have a home and I'm actually, if you can cook, that would be great. I'm gonna cook something.
That's a good reason to invite her to your house, isn't it?
You have some reason.
Yeah.
We went to 5 times restaurant. It's a bit boring. Next time, like I can cook for you. Then interesting.
Yeah. So day 5, once you've gone out a few days, you can then probably easily say, would you like to come to my house?
Yeah.
I have the feeling that most people live in quite small.
Yeah.
In Tokyo, especially, they have quite small buildings and there's not that much space, but they can still invite,
Yeah, exactly. My friends, everybody live in Tokyo and in a small house, but between like 5 people inside room and they're doing party. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Like almost every weekend.
And how has it been with the lockdowns? Have people still been able to?
I think till now, because I left Japan when I was 6 years, I can't say exactly, but what I can see, from my Facebook Instagram story, that is what my friends is doing. It's usually they actually more having a party in the home. But sometimes they're still going out.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So you said that the clubs have closed?
Yeah, club, I'm not sure. Like I have a music friends, they are going, but not really often. I see it's not often at all. So, but it's a normal restaurant, izakaya, and a home like a party they're doing. I think quite normal. I think Japan was less restriction than Europe for sure.
Yeah. So Japan hasn't had so many restrictions. We're gonna continue with this. So we just see who's in our chat.
Yeah.
Let's see who's in our chat.
So everybody, thank you so much for joining.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I had some. Yeah. Great. Ali is my friend, and then actually we had the conversation with Ali in this morning.
Is he a member of the group?
Yeah. I mean, if somebody want to join here, please like a request that you want to join.
Yeah.
So
say something in the chat.
Yeah. Here is question to tell me. All language you learn to speak, which one you found to be hardest to learn? I think it's English, because English was the kind of first language to learn different language, right?
Yeah.
And then especially I think Japanese and then English is just really far.
They're so different, aren't they? The way you create a sentence.
Yeah, it's not like an English speaker learn French or English speaker learn
Right.
German. It's English speaker really become a Japanese speaker is really hard.
Exactly.
It's really different.
Yeah.
So that's why for us, it's being an English speaker is the hardest things. After that, my Greek and then my German is I don't feel like I cannot manage. I'm okay with that. I think I just need time, and I don't feel like so much difficulties.
So you don't feel any pressure when you speak Greek, because you obviously live in Greece, you need to be able to speak Greek, but you're already learning German as well, and you're getting to be quite good at German.
But it is so fun, because especially I have a lot of friends, and I love the technology, and I think a lot of German people like Japan, again, like same technology, so I think it's going to be a good conversation.
But some of the content, people want to speak about, like, I don't know, sexual stuff, or, like the films they watch, some teachers don't always want to discuss those subjects, so what do you say about that? Like,
I can talk about anything.
They cannot really bring up, like, this movie they watched, or something sexual, because they're afraid, like, they'd be offended, right? So there's some words which Japanese people, they don't want foreigners to know. What's your experience about that?
You mean like some student want to ask me, but I cannot answer or something?
Yeah, they think that the teacher wouldn't want to explain.
No, I can explain almost everything. People sometimes ask me, what is a geisha? What is about like a hostess nightlife?
What is that?
I answer everything usually.
Just for example, I think Japanese want their foreigners to have a nice understanding about Japanese culture, but something is a little bit, it's not quite like very family friendly. Like it's more adult stuff, like the adult video or the nightlife scene. So people are quite curious about that, but they don't really know how to see what happens in that scenario. So what about the hostess life? What actually happened in the hostess bar?
So when I was young and I didn't have money, and I became hostess for I think it's 10 months.
Yeah.
And it was so interesting because you can really meet everyone in Japan, like really famous company presidents to like normal people. Like even
regularly.
Kind of yakuza to like so many people you can really meet. It's really really fun. Like I felt like I.
So how old were you when you
Japan.
first worked in the hostess bar? How old were you?
When I was 21.
Okay, so 21.
When I started living in Tokyo, I didn't really have money.
So were you doing it just for the money, or you wanted the experience of it?
Yeah, it's both. Like I wanted because I quit the company that I was working for.
Okay.
And then once you quit for kind of stupid reason, that I quit the company was I just want to try different things. If you quit like that, the reason usually I can't go back to the same industry because they will see the resume. It's written like you quit like for
they know
like that
know
reason.
why you left.
Yeah, so which means I have to be an entrepreneur or I have to be like a night worker, nightlife worker or something. That's why okay. Fuck it, I'm gonna actually try different industry. So I'm gonna go like a hostess club
did they
in 1 year.
You or did you approach them?
Yeah, I was working in the city in Tokyo and they actually recruited me.
So this is quite common, isn't it? They come up to the woman and they say, would you like to do this job?
Yeah.
And they're not always Japanese, are they? Sometimes they're from other countries as well.
Most probably.
Foreign worker in Japan.
Most probably is everyone here. If you want to join the conversation, please request. And so I think most of people are Japanese. I mean, 99% is Japanese.
99%.
Because the nightlife, the customer is most of the time is Japanese.
So he wants to speak Japanese.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
but you know what? I could speak English a little bit that time, and I had some foreign clients too.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah. But it's really rare. Most of the time it's Japanese.
So you have just a few foreign clients. Maybe they're being entertained by the.
Yeah. Because I can speak English a little bit that time because I couldn't speak much. But yes.
So if a foreign man on his own comes to the hostess club, they would probably be surprised.
Yeah, it depends on that's why I think it depends on the hostess club. If no one really can understand English, I think they will say just no.
They would say no. Now some people feel that that's racist. They're saying no to me because I'm a foreigner.
Yeah, it's not racism. It's just they can't do anything with you.
Yeah.
Because the hostess club is the point is to make conversation.
Yeah.
And if they cannot make a conversation, they feel like I just took money from you and we cannot do anything. Yes.
Right. But she's still pouring these drinks and being attentive to him and to be very friendly.
Yeah, it's gonna be but being quiet for many hours. I guess. Yeah. So that's why I think it's the best. It's not the hostess club. You can go like a more girls bar or something. It's more casual.
That's more casual. So you probably pay less and it's
exactly. Like even $10 per hour. But the hostess club can be maybe $10,000 per hour. It depends on the I mean, not $10,000. 10,000 yen, which is $100. Yeah.
So the girls' bar is a quite young woman usually?
Yeah, really young. You can find 18, 19 years old.
What kind of uniform do they wear? Is it schoolgirl wear or some?
Depends on the girls' bar. It's totally different.
Yeah,
totally different. I have seen bikini girls' bar to like a maid
but that's the promotion. Outside you can tell the kind of place.
Yeah, exactly. You can see the outside the shop. The girl is like this. So you can see the photo. Yeah.
But when you go inside, it's not necessarily the same kind of woman in the picture.
Yeah.
We lost our main camera, by the way. I didn't want to stop you, but that's all right.
Yeah. Okay. So thank you, guys. Thank you so much, and Robot, thank you so much for this interview.
It's been amazing.
Yeah. Great. So thank you, everyone.
Yep. よろしくお願いします。